Beloved friends, today I come to you with a message, a call that echoes through the ages, arise. This is not just a word but a summons, a stirring of the soul that bids us to rise above the shadows that seek to bind us. There is a light inside each one of us, a divine spark meant to shine brightly in a world too often clouded by fear and uncertainty. Yet how many of us remain asleep, paralyzed by doubt, weighed down by the burdens of life? Today, I urge you to shake off the chains of hesitation, to stand tall and face the dawn of new possibilities. Arise from your fears, arise from despair and hopelessness. You were not created to sit on the sidelines of life, but to walk boldly on the path of purpose. The night is long, but the morning is near. There is a power greater than ourselves that calls us onward, a power that gives us courage when our hearts falter and hope when all seems lost. Do not wait for another day, another chance. The moment to arise is now. With faith as your shield and courage as your companion, step forward into the light. Let your life be a testament to the strength of the human spirit and the grace of a loving creator. Remember, to arise is to embrace renewal. It is to live not just for yourself, but for those who need your light to guide them out of darkness. Stand up, dear friends, and live with intention, with purpose, with love. Arise and be the change this world so desperately needs. My dear friends, there comes a moment in every life when we are called to rise, to stand up and take hold of the life we were meant to live. This is not a gentle suggestion, but a powerful call to action, a call to awaken from the slumber of complacency and to move forward with purpose and determination. You are not here by accident, and your life carries meaning beyond what you may realize. The world around us is filled with challenges that seem overwhelming. We see injustice, pain and suffering all around. But the greatest obstacle often lies within ourselves, the fear that keeps us frozen, the doubts that whisper we are not enough, and the voices that tell us to wait for a better time. I say to you now, there is no better time than the present. The moment to rise is here. It is time to shake off the shackles of hesitation and take that first step forward. To step out of the shadows of uncertainty and into the light of confidence and hope. When you arise, you declare that you will not be defeated by circumstances or by the opinions of others. You say, I will live my life with courage, with conviction and with faith in the future. To arise means to claim your strength, even when you feel weak. It means to stand firm when the winds of doubt blow fiercely. It means to push forward even when the path is unclear. The power to change your life lies within you, waiting for you to grasp it. You were made for more than just survival, you were made to thrive. I ask you to take responsibility for your own destiny. No one else can live your life for you. No one else can make the decisions or take the steps that only you can take. This is your moment, your opportunity to choose a path of purpose and meaning. The world needs your unique gifts and your willingness to rise up and make a difference. When you arise, you become a beacon of hope for others. Your courage inspires those around you to believe that change is possible. You show that even in the darkest times, there is a way forward. Your actions ripple outward, touching lives and creating a better future for those who come after you. Remember, rising is not a one-time event but a daily choice. Each morning you have the chance to stand again, to renew your commitment and to press on with determination. No matter how many times you may fall, the call to arise is always there, urging you to get back up and keep moving toward the life you were created to live. So rise up today with all the strength and courage you can muster. Take that step forward with faith in your heart. The journey ahead may be challenging, but it is filled with hope and purpose. The world is waiting for you to arise and shine your light. Fear and doubt are two of the greatest enemies we face on the journey of life. They creep in quietly, whispering lies that keep us from stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. They tell us we are not strong enough, not worthy enough, or not ready to face the challenges before us. But I stand here today to tell you these fears have no power over you unless you allow them to. The first step in overcoming fear is to recognize it for what it truly is, a shadow that fades when confronted by the light of truth. Fear thrives in silence and secrecy, but when we speak it aloud and bring it into the open, its grip begins to loosen. You are stronger than your fears. Even when they feel overwhelming, you have within you the courage to face them head-on. Doubt often paralyzes us because it makes us question our purpose and our ability to move forward. But doubt is not the final word. It is only a moment on the journey, a signpost that invites us to pause, reflect and then press on with renewed faith. When doubt arises, let it be a signal to seek the truth of who you are and what you are capable of achieving. Overcoming fear and doubt requires that we lean on something greater than ourselves. It is in that connection, whether to a higher power, to a community, or to the inner well of resilience, that we find the strength to continue. No one rises above fear alone. It is through faith and support that we gain the courage to take the next step. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has wrestled with fear and doubt. The difference is they chose to arise, to face those feelings and keep going, and you can do the same. The power to overcome lies within your heart. Do not let fear keep you from fulfilling your destiny. Each time you choose to stand firm, you weaken fear's hold on your life. Each step forward builds confidence and faith until what once seemed impossible becomes your new reality. The road may be difficult, but the victory is worth every challenge. Surround yourself with voices of encouragement and reject those that tell you you cannot. Fill your mind with truth and hope rather than worry and when doubt knocks, open the door only a little and then close it quickly, choosing instead to focus on what you know to be true about yourself and your purpose. So, my friend, take heart and rise above fear and doubt. And no longer control your actions or define your… With each new day, choose courage, choose faith, and watch as the barriers crumble and your spirit soars toward the life you were always meant to live. A spiritual awakening is the moment when the heart begins to stir and the soul begins to see beyond the surface of life. It is the gentle whisper that calls us to something greater than ourselves, a higher purpose that fills the emptiness we often feel. This awakening invites us to open our eyes and our hearts to the divine presence that surrounds and sustains us every day. Too often we live distracted and disconnected, caught up in the busyness of the world and the noise of our own thoughts. But deep inside there is a yearning, a quiet longing for meaning, for peace, for a sense of belonging to something eternal. The awakening comes when we stop running and start listening, when we pause long enough to feel the sacredness of life and the love that never fails. This spiritual awakening is not a one-time event but a journey. It begins with small steps, a moment of reflection, a prayer whispered in silence, an act of kindness offered without expectation. Each step draws us closer to the source of all hope and strength, and slowly we begin to understand that we are never truly alone. When we awaken spiritually, our perspective changes. We begin to see ourselves and others through eyes of compassion and grace. We understand that every person carries their own struggles and dreams, and we are called to walk gently with one another, lifting each other up rather than tearing down. The awakening also calls us to live with greater intention. It asks us to align our actions with our values and to live out the truth that we are all part of a divine plan. This is not always easy, for it requires courage to stand for what is right and to let go of habits or beliefs that no longer serve our growth. Faith becomes the light that guides us on this path. It is the anchor in the storms of life, reminding us that there is purpose in every trial and hope beyond every challenge. Through faith, our hearts are strengthened and our spirits renewed, enabling us to rise even when the journey feels difficult. A true spiritual awakening transforms us from the inside out. It brings peace where there was anxiety, love where there was fear, and joy where there was despair. It is a powerful force that changes how we live, how we love, and how we serve others in the world. So I invite you to open your heart today to this awakening. Listen for that still small voice within you calling you to arise, to live fully, to love deeply, and to walk boldly in the light of truth and grace that never fades. Hope is the anchor that holds the soul steady in the storms of life. When everything around us seems uncertain or broken, hope whispers to us that better days are coming. It is the quiet assurance that no matter how dark the night, the dawn will break, bringing with it new light and new possibilities. Hope is not wishful thinking, it is a deep, unshakable confidence in the promise of renewal. Renewal is the gift that follows hope. It is the fresh start, the chance to leave behind past mistakes, regrets and failures and to embrace the new life waiting for us. New life waiting for us. Just as the seasons change and the earth is made green again after winter, so too can our hearts be made new when we open ourselves to hope and allow renewal to take root. Sometimes we hold tightly to the past, afraid to let go of pain or loss. But true renewal requires that we release what weighs us down. It means forgiving ourselves and others and stepping forward with a heart that is ready to receive healing and grace. This process is not always easy, but it is necessary for the fullness of life to blossom within us. Hope and renewal go hand in hand because hope fuels the courage to change, and renewal is the transformation that follows. When we dare to hope, we take the first step toward becoming the people we were meant to be. We begin to see the world not just as it is, but as it can be, filled with promise, purpose and peace. In moments of despair, remember that renewal is always possible. No matter how many times you have fallen, the opportunity to arise again is there. Each day brings a new chance to start over, to rebuild and to grow stronger through the lessons life has taught us. Hope gives us the strength to keep moving forward, even when the path seems unclear. The journey of renewal is a sacred one. It invites us to trust in a greater plan and to surrender control to the wisdom that guides us. It teaches us patience as we wait for healing and growth, and gratitude for the small signs of progress along the way. With hope as our companion, we learn to embrace the process with faith and perseverance. Renewal also calls us to be a source of hope for others. When we experience new life in our own hearts, we are called to share that light with those still struggling in darkness. Our stories of hope and renewal can inspire others to believe in their own power to rise and transform their lives. So, hold fast to hope today. Let it kindle a fire within your spirit that cannot be extinguished. Trust in the promise of renewal, knowing that no matter what you have faced, a new beginning awaits, full of grace, strength, and the endless possibilities of a life made whole. Faith is the foundation upon which courage is built. It is a quiet confidence that even when we cannot see the full path ahead, there is a guiding light leading us forward. Faith calls us to trust in something greater than ourselves, a power that sustains us through every trial and lifts us when we stumble. Without faith, courage can falter, but with it we find strength beyond what we thought possible. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. It is standing up when it would be easier to sit down, speaking out when silence is safer, and moving forward when doubt tries to hold us back. Every act of courage begins with a small step, a choice to trust that we are equipped to face what lies ahead, and that trust is born of faith. Sometimes the road is hard and the challenges seem overwhelming. It is in those moments that faith becomes a lifeline, reminding us that we are never alone. Courage flows from knowing that a higher power walks beside us, strengthening our hearts and guiding our steps. When we embrace this truth, we discover that we can face difficulties with a spirit that refuses to be defeated. Faith gives us the vision to see beyond our current struggles, to believe in a future filled with hope and promise. It is a light that shines through the darkest night, a beacon that calls us onward even when the way seems unclear. With faith as our compass, we are emboldened to take risks, to challenge injustice and to stand for what is right, no matter the cost. Courage is contagious. When one person rises with boldness, it inspires others to do the same. Courage can be the spark that ignites hope in someone else's heart. By living with faith and courage, you become a living example of what is possible when we trust in the strength beyond ourselves and dare to face life's battles head on. The journey of faith and courage requires daily renewal. It means waking each morning and choosing to believe, choosing to hope, and choosing to act with bravery. There will be moments of weakness, moments when fear threatens to overwhelm, but faith invites us to rise again, to press on with the assurance that we are supported and equipped for the fight. Faith calls us to surrender control and to trust the process even when the outcome is unknown. Courage calls us to move forward anyway, to keep walking the path laid out before us with steadfast hearts. Together, faith and courage form a powerful partnership that enables us to overcome obstacles, to heal from wounds, and to build a life of purpose and meaning. So stand firm in your faith today and let courage be your companion on every step of your journey. Know that you are stronger than any fear and braver than any challenge you face. With faith lighting your way and courage in your heart, there is no limit to what you can overcome and the difference you can make in this world. Purposeful living is more than just existing day to day. It is the conscious decision to live with meaning, to align our actions with our deepest values, and to walk a path that reflects who we truly are. When we live purposefully, every moment becomes an opportunity to make a difference, to serve others and to grow into the fullness of our calling. Too often, life's distractions pull us away from what truly matters. We can get caught up in routines or chase after things that leave us feeling empty inside. But purposeful living calls us to wake up, to focus on what gives life true meaning, love, kindness, service and faith. It invites us to live intentionally rather than by accident. Purpose is not something we find by chance, it is something we cultivate through reflection and action. It requires us to ask the hard questions. What do I stand for? What do I stand for? What legacy do I want to leave? How can I use my gifts to bless others? When we answer these questions honestly, we begin to live with clarity and direction. Living purposefully also means embracing responsibility. It means recognizing that our choices matter, that what we do each day has the power to build up or tear down. With this understanding comes a commitment to live with integrity, to be honest in our words, and to act in ways that honor the goodness within us. Purposeful living is deeply connected to service. When we focus on serving others, we step outside of ourselves and discover a greater joy and fulfillment. Our lives become part of something bigger, a community, a cause, a movement toward healing and hope. In serving, we find our purpose reflected back to us. This way of living calls for courage and perseverance. It is not always easy to choose what is right over what is convenient, to stand firm in our convictions when others may disagree. But the rewards of living purposefully far outweigh the challenges. A purposeful life is a life well lived, full of peace and satisfaction. A purposeful living also invites us to be present. It asks us to appreciate the small moments and to recognize the sacred in the ordinary. When we live with purpose, even the simplest acts, a kind word, a gentle touch, a helping hand, take on profound significance. We become mindful of the impact we have on the world around us. So today, I urge you to live with intention and purpose. Let your life be a light that guides others and a testimony to the power of a heart aligned with truth and love. Rise up and embrace the calling placed upon you, knowing that your life, lived on purpose, can change the world in ways you never imagined.